doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. So what brings you in?
Well, I have three adolescents.
Okay.
My youngest son, that is 13 years old, is
Mhm.
just starting to demonstrate some odd behavior.
Okay.
He was getting really good grades in school
Mhm.
and athlete, and for the past, I want to say 3 months, his grades has declined. He's getting a little bit angry.
Oh.
I noticed that he's sleeping a lot, and I've also noticed that he's hanging around different type of people.
Okay.
And I've heard that these people actually have been using drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
So I'm just a little suspicious that maybe he's using drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
I have noticed little cigarettes and empty bottles of alcohol.
Okay. So some
Around the
paraphernalia
house.
around the house.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm like at a breaking point, and I just
Right.
need some advice on how to handle this.
Have you asked him about the paraphernalia that you found around the house?
I did, and he's
Okay.
telling me, oh, it's my friends.
Okay.
They left it, and I'm like, well, why are you hanging around people
Right.
with this? You know what that means.
Right.
And he keeps denying it, so I'm just needing to know, what should I do?
Okay.
You know, and should I be aggressive and take him and make him get a test, or what
Do
are
you
some
think that the
options?
drugs are drugs that may show up on a drug test, or are they more like cigarettes and alcohol, which wouldn't show up, or do you think that it might be marijuana or a heavier type of drug?
I think it could be, a
Okay.
heavier type of drug that possibly could show up. So
Okay.
I'm really not sure what to do in this case. You have any advice for me?
I think that they do sell drug tests that you can buy at like CVS. I think that it might be a good idea to drug test him,
Okay.
but are you prepared to handle that if it does come up as positive? Maybe we should think of some things that you could do if the tests show up positive.
Okay, that would be nice.
Okay.
And another twist to this story, I just recently was divorced maybe 2
Okay.
years ago,
Okay.
and his father was really big into drugs.
Okay.
So I don't know if we have a couple of issues, if it's that he's acting out because of the divorce.
How often does he see his father?
He really doesn't have any interaction with him now,
Okay.
but he did.
Okay.
He's been in his life since he was born, but
Right.
because of that, negative influence, I've kept him completely away from the children.
Okay. I'm wondering if he maybe saw drugs earlier in his life and now he's thinking that maybe that's okay because he's a guy and he saw his father doing drugs. What do you think about that?
I think I think you have a valid case there. I
Okay.
agree.
Okay. So his grades have changed within the last 2 months, you said?
Correct.
Okay. So have you encouraged him maybe to go to a tutoring, and has he responded well to anything that you've tried to direct him towards doing?
Well, at this point, I'm going to be honest. I work long hours,
Right.
and this will be my first really interaction with trying to find solutions. So,
Okay.
but I think that's a great idea to
Okay.
possibly get with the school and see if they can
Mhm.
offer some type of tutoring.
Okay.
I like that.
So right now we can think that you're going to go home and possibly buy a drug test, and then if the test comes up positive, will he be grounded? Will he not be allowed to use the cell phone, not be allowed to hang out with friends? What kind of discipline will happen if his drug test is positive?
Wow, that is something truly to consider, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not good at discipline.
Okay.
But I think that this is serious enough. He's, like I said, he's been pretty much a great kid most of his life, good grades, very active. I think that maybe appropriate alternatives, maybe taking away his phone would be a great start.
Okay.
That will take the communication from him,
Right.
communicating with his friends.
Right.
And
that are possibly
Mhm.
showing him the drugs and stuff.
Exactly. And
Okay.
maybe working with the counselor and the coach, and possibly, them having some reinforcement as well would be a great
Okay.
idea.
Is he aware that if he is on drugs that he won't be able to continue his sports and these things that he does love at school? That's something that you may want to bring up to him if he really values sports and he's on the football team or whatever he's doing. If he values that, he's not going to want to jeopardize his sports for hanging out with this group of people that's doing drugs.
I do know when he first started sports, they did make them sign a contract.
Okay.
So I think that he is aware, but probably not considering the consequences.
Right.
So I think that is a great approach to let him know, you're gonna lose your
Mhm.
varsity, jacket, and the
Mhm.
kids are gonna, just an embarrassment alone would
Right.
probably be a good way to get him back on track.
Okay. So let's talk more about you. How does it make you feel knowing that your son may be using drugs and you're finding paraphernalia? How does that make you feel?
It's very, stressful for me as a
Right.
parent. I'm a single mom now, and like I said, I'm working a lot of hours. I feel like a failure. I feel like, I am not doing enough to make sure that he's on track. So, I try not to be, down on myself and consider like at least, I'm here now,
Right.
and I'm trying to resolve this
So-
problem.
You're not a failure, and you're here, and you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the energy, you're trying to seek help for you and for your son and for your entire family. So I want us to erase the thought that you're a failure, because you're not. And I think that we can work on things and explore maybe some things that may help you parent what parent better, or help your son with the possible drugs, and maybe create a stronger family unit.
I like that. Thank
Okay.
you. I really appreciate. Sometimes you just need to hear that,
Yes.
that
Mhm.
you're not a failure, and and I definitely feel now I'm not alone.
Good.
So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. So what are some things that you enjoy doing when you're not working and when you're not taking care of your kids? What's something that you do for you that makes you happy?
Well, I think just getting a massage.
Okay.
I actually enjoy cooking
Oh, okay.
for the family. So just preparing a nice meal
Right.
and serving them gives me great reward.
Awesome.
And just a little bit of pampering. So
Okay.
I must say, since I've been working a lot of hours, I haven't been doing those things.
Okay.
So starting back into getting those activities back will spending
Okay.
more time with him,
Okay.
as well as doing things that I love. So I like that.
Okay. So possibly making more time for you to relax and to do things that you love may help the situation, feeling overwhelmed and feeling frustrated and everything like that.
Definitely.
Is there any way that you could cut back on the time that you spend at work and spend more time at home cooking and doing the things that you love?
Right now, no,
No,
but
okay.
but this is like high season for us.
Okay.
But within maybe, I want to say 2.5 months or so,
Okay.
things will start slowing down.
Slowing
I can
down.
get back to a regular 9 to 5.
So, your ex-husband doesn't help at all with the kids?
No.
No. Okay. So it's just you.
Just me right now. I
Okay.
do have my mother in my life, and
Okay.
she helps when she can.
Right.
And they're the siblings are really close.
Right.
So I rely on them to to be there
Okay.
for each other as well.
Okay. And do they come to you when do the other siblings come to you about your son with the drugs? Have they said anything that they've noticed any strange behavior patterns or anything like that?
Well, I've always raised them not to, to tell on each other
Right.
unless it's something pretty serious. My
Okay.
daughter recently mentioned that I need to keep a better eye on Roberto.
Okay.
So that was a clue to me that maybe
Something.
there's something going on. She didn't
Okay.
go into details.
Right.
So that's why, I started kind of snooping around and
Tipped you off a little
trying
bit.
to, and I noticed, the actual bottle of alcohol and
Right.
and I do know the friends that he's socializing with are known users.
Okay. Okay. So is there anything else that you want to talk about in this session that's been on your mind lately? Have you been dating or anything since your divorce? How is that? Is it just you're just working all day and then you're coming home and just with your kids, or?
Well, I can say I haven't started dating.
Okay.
I do have close friends that, we communicate with.
Right.
But no, dating is something that I figure that I'll wait on until they get out of the home.
Okay. Right.
But as it relates to just, I'm not going to be dating anytime soon.
Okay. So let me just touch back on your marriage. Did you guys get a divorce because of the alcohol and the drugs?
Definitely.
Yeah, that was a big stressor.
Just to give you a little bit of history. When we married young, and
Okay.
he was a great provider, a great father,
Mm-hmm.
and he spiraled out of control. He started
Okay.
using drugs. He started smoking first, then he started using heroin, and it just spiraled out of control, and I had to get my children out of that situation.
Okay. Well, I think that's something that we can explore in our next session. That is a lot, and I can't imagine what you were going through, and how dangerous that was, having that in your home and having that spiral out of control. But I really enjoyed meeting with you, and I'm really looking forward to our next session and getting able to explore different avenues and things that we can do to help with the troubles right now.
Well, thank you so much. I must say I do feel better just
Good.
getting in, having someone
Letting
to
it
talk
out.
to
Yeah.
and letting it out. So thank you.
Great.
I will be back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.